have enough of us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to? This is the end.
Good friend. No surprises.
I know exactly where it came from. I'm looking.
You look good.
I know. Family's very good.
I know where they are.
You see all right?
Yes, fine. No, I can move over one. Let's scoot over one. Then we'll over here. Yes, I am.
There's more seats right there in the here, I thought maybe I'm just going to introduce a few of our board members that are here that you might need to know who's on our board. Because Vivian Smith, who's in charge of all our publications, the journal that you get, and she's the one that's responsible for it. Dorothy Arthur, anyway, George Davis, Ruth Wolflagers, our secretary, Betsy Phillips, Jack Gravely. I always forget somebody, you didn't.
Brian's here.
Yeah, Brian Mullins. So, I want to introduce Vivian, and she's going to tell you about our program. Thank you.
Well, welcome to you all. I'm standing here so I can hang on a little support. We are going to have a little bit later, we're going to have a program, but I want to introduce some people first. And then when it comes time when you want to talk to the author or the illustrator, you'll know who they are. I want to welcome John, Dr. John Higby and his wife Connie. Where are you? There's Connie. There's Dr. Higby. Okay, they like to touch base with Lewis County frequently. I think he finds that his muse is satisfied, then he can come back to his roots. Of course, they only had to come 800 miles from North Carolina Thursday to be here. And I think they hit the two best days of the entire fall to be here, Friday and Thursday and Friday. Then we have our illustrator of the book is Kate McDowell, right up here. We were very happy when Kate decided she wanted to illustrate the book for us. You know, at the time she did that, she was a junior at Marvel Academy. She's now a senior. She is a very organized young lady. Kate is. She would have to be very organized to fit everything into her life that she fits in. For instance, she jogs and walks and runs every day and goes to aerobics, and she has a scholastic schedule which is full of classes. Some of them are for college credit. One night a week she goes down to Utica to the Munson Walden Proctor for art classes. And so you can see when she put us into her busy schedule, we must know that she's pretty well organized. At the time she started working on her illustrations for us, she had also took on the art exhibit at Lowell Academy. I've been working with Kate now for all these months on the book, and I find that she's a very talented, special person. She is mature beyond her years. She is able to portray the people in the book so exceptionally well that the people who have reviewed the book for us have acclaimed her artistry, her talent, and her perception of personality. I want to welcome Kate, and I'm going to turn the program over to her right now. And I want to tell you that I certainly appreciated working with Kate. It has been a wonderful experience for me, and I hope we can still be friends.
Thank you very much.
All right, Kate.
I'd like to welcome you all to. Thank you, Mrs. Smith.
When you're through, I'll say a few more words.
Okay.
After you go.
Okay. Welcome. Thanks for coming. I have a few people I'd like to thank and introduce also. First of all, I'd like to thank Mrs. Smith for all the time and effort she's put into the editing job, which really has been pretty tough with a lot of revisions, and she's put a lot of effort into it. And also with the arrangement of the food and helping set up. I'd like to thank all the people in the museum for helping me today too. And I'd like to thank all the models that have cooperated with me and with the illustrations. And now, one of the models couldn't be here today, Norm Boucher and his wife Diane, which I'd like to thank. Introductions. This is Dee Gravely, who is reading for Ruth after she's older, and she's retired art teacher at Lowell Academy and now an accomplished artist. This is my dad, Phil McDowell, who's helped out a lot. This is my next door neighbor and good friend Al Bush, who I've known since I was about 2, who modeled and also is helping out today. And I'd like to introduce you to Dr. John Higby, who is professor at Appalachian State University, and who started the whole thing coming about. Do you want to say a few words?
Just a few.
Okay, thanks.
Kate asked me whether I wanted to say a few words. As I guess most of you know, I'm a college English teacher. And I'm also, on my mother's side, Lions Falls Irish. So I'm a compulsive talker. But if you give me a chance, I'll be talking at 10 o'clock tonight, and you'll be trying to sneak out. I guess that's all I'll say right now. If, when we finish, you would like to ask questions about anything, I'd be glad to help you if I can. I do feel before we begin, I need to express my thanks and appreciation, not to say gratitude, to the many people who've made this possible. This is the sort of thing that I'd like to do. Sometimes it works out very nicely, other times less well. But this would not be possible without the Historical Society, its board of directors, its curator. Certainly not possible without Vivian Smith, who I think is a very fine editor. And then, of course, I have my colleague, partner, collaborator, Kate. I've been doing this sort of thing safe mode.
I'd like to make one more thank you. Thanks to my mom, who's running the slide projector right here, who's helped out immensely. Can we have the lights, I guess?
I'll get it, Joe. Can't turn off the sunshine upstairs.
I'll get that.
No, the light, no. They do that.
Why does it work one way and not the other?
Because it got turned off up here.
Okay, well, turn it off up there.
Mrs. Gravely, did you want this slide down? Thank you.
That's not too much, you said.
No, open that door a little bit. That would help.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
It's hardest on the days Ruth comes to call, as if the promises we made 6 years ago could stop this draining out my side. The mini ball I took at Wilderness, and come spring planting we'd be man and white. 2 winters now I've tried to give her freedom, but she declares she'd rather die a maid than quit the man she gave her promise to. Not knowing when he came home from Virginia, there'd be small chance of making good or trial. No chance at all, I thought, since late September. That's when I lost my interest in food. The baby's gruel, milk, maple syrup, crushed oats, and half-cooked eggs the doctor means should give me strength until my wound heals up. A wound that hasn't healed in 7.5 years. Now I sit there in my sister's house, wrapped in warm blankets by a sunlit window, watching wagons headed south to Boonville to fetch supplies before the snow sets in. Sometimes it seems I'd travel south myself. That's if I had the strength and never stop until I reach Virginia once again. Do you remember how it was that spring before we crossed the Rapid and found Lee's army? One night, you and I both swore we'd soldiered 20 years and had such bivouacs, good cheese, and bacon brought from Baltimore, and whiskey too, that is, if you knew how to give a proper sign to the peddler who had the stuff. And then it was so warm and soft those nights we thought we were in Eden, lying in our blankets underneath the stars while mockingbirds and singing to one another sang us to sleep. With winter coming on, I think about those times a lot. It seems I could go back to the warmth and fragrance, the woods half white with dogwood trees in flower. The moon is orange as embers on a hearth. I might heal after all. The way things stand, you might as well announce to all the others who left us in the spring of '62 and lived to come home when the killing ended, to brush their uniforms and keep them fit for wearing to a burial in the spring. Don't look at me as if I've lost my mettle. It isn't that I want to quit this life, or leave Ruth pining till she has no chance to be aught but a spinster. If I could, I'd throw these blankets off this afternoon in time to bring the cows home. But I don't know what's what and how I must prepare for the new wilderness I'll soon be facing. It can't be any harder than the other. That morning, when we crossed the Rapidan, it seems we had 2 enemies to fight. Or rather, we were asked to lick the first, a wilderness of tangled undergrowth, vines, saplings, briars, deadfalls, swampy earth, before we had the right to face the Rebs. Will prove to us beyond the smallest doubt we need the largest heart we could command to have a chance at victory. So I thought the burning in my side was just a jab I